Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what might be eventually a mini-series here on nypw Professional Walkthroughs for Timberborn. Now, I have picked up this game during the Steam summer sale, and I have to honestly say, I haven't picked up that many new games. I did pick up few in order to do some stuff, and I will see what I will be able to do, and I will definitely try to put out a review for this game. However, I will require a whole lot more experience with it, as I'm only 6 hours in, and in those 6 hours, this is probably the furthest I ever gotten in a single save, because this game is brutal, and unfortunately, it does a really poor job at explaining certain stuff. So we will be starting all over again. I'm gonna try to change a couple of things around, and hopefully with your feedback, I'll be able to perform much better, get more information out there, get more information for myself, improve my overall technique of how and what to do and what not to do, and hopefully with all that, we will be able to have a whole lot more fun. So with that said, let's jump into a brand new game, and we will see if I will get all the beavers killed again, or if I will be able to maybe replicate some of the steps to achieve some sort of a eventual success. So let's jump into it and see how it will go. We'll probably go with the same map, just because I haven't really touched upon the other scenarios. Hell, I even haven't tried the different species of beaver, the iron teeth or iron tooth, or what are they called, because they burn through a lot of wood in order to power just about anything. And the problem with that is that there will be lots of bottlenecks. So we will see how this will turn out, and yeah, let's see how this will turn out, I guess. So each game starts off the same way. You name your town and you start off the game. So first of all, here is how we start. We have our district center. This is where we can select how many workers do we have. And this is the region which you were able to see me have slightly transformed. Now we have this little slope here which will eventually allow us to get access to this region, and there are certain things which are, like for example, this barrier which prevents the water from coming in here. And water is really important in this game because water is one of the main resources, as your beavers have certain stats. So they have hunger, they have thirst, they have sleep, and they have shelter. Each of these bonuses and things will give them eventually additional buffs, boosts, and whatnot, and we will try to fulfill all of their needs. As you can see, this is quite the massive map to try and conquer, with lots of resources such as wood, such as metal and water and all sorts of fancy stuff. And every now and then, this river will actually dry out because there is this drought that can come in. So there are moments where actually you can really run out of water, which is why beavers built the dams. The dams are going to be crucial because the dams are going to allow us to stay alive, as you can go a couple of days without eating. You really cannot go a couple of days without drinking. You're going to die. So don't try that at home. So with that all said, we need to set up some sort of plan of what we're gonna do, and we have a couple of things. In the lower right corner, we can see the tutorial, and I can tell you right now that the tutorial in this game, not really beneficial. I would really appreciate if there would be some sort of tutorial which would teach you how much food do you need for a beaver, or how much water do you need for a beaver for a day. This way you can plan accordingly to your population. As sure, you will need to expand your population. As you can see, you have adults and you have kids, and the adults are the only ones who are able to work. Now sure, there are certain games which allow you to implement things like in Frostpunk that your children can work, but it has negative effects, of course, on the overall morale. So we're gonna start off with a couple of things. We're gonna have to prepare district for chopping down trees. We're gonna have to tap into these blueberries, which are gonna be our early source of food, as we already do have some. But unfortunately, blueberries do have the unfortunate effect that they can feed the hunger, but they lack the nutrition. And if you give, let's say, a carrot or potato or something else to your beavers, it actually satiates them much more, and therefore they are then able to last a little longer with the food that they ate. So, yeah, lots of stuff to cover. So first of all, we need to put down the pathway. Pathway is actually not constructed by the beavers themselves, which kind of helps out. But seriously, it's gonna be important for you to learn certain stuff, such as building road infrastructure and planning out your potential town layouts, depending on how you will want to proceed with expanding your colony. So what I'm doing here is trying to put down the basic path that will get me to the slope where there's a crap ton of wood. There's still wood over here, but I want to tap into this one first. I just want to make sure that if I will be planning, let's say, housing, I will have to accommodate for the entry or access to this point over here. So this lower region I like to use for farming. The reason behind this is that if we would be able to successfully build a dam, the water will be able to hold here, because as you can see, there is an elevation, and this is a key thing in this game. If we leave the building menu, you can see that this is a massive lake of water, and there is even a deeper pond inside of it, or like a bigger depth. So it means that if we would be able to hold the water in this section here, that means that this entire shoreline should maintain the green foliage and not be this type of cracked land, which will actually kill anything that grows on it. Now, the only thing that differs these trees from these trees is that they are out of the reach of the water. So you can see that no new trees will be growing in between, and this means that once you chop these suckers down, they will not repopulate. However, the funniest thing is that actually what I noticed is that once you chop down these large guys, if you would theoretically leave these small trees to grow and reach their maturity, it's like they automatically try to repopulate the region around them. So once the large trees have been cut down, because you will need them for your construction materials such as houses, water wheel, water pump, whatever, the small trees can actually repopulate this thing, because in order for us to then get into repopulating the trees, we will require a forester. But for a forester, we will require wooden planks, and we will require research points. So these are all the steps which we need to do in order to just achieve that the trees will be able to be chopped down. So I'm gonna shut up, and we're gonna start doing actually some sort of planning, and we're gonna tap into the forestry industry. So what I'm gonna do here is put down 4 lumberjack camps, and we will require a storage for the log piles so that we can actually accommodate all this stuff to be stored somewhere, because you cannot just chop down those trees and leave them hanging. It then doesn't accommodate into your overall stockpile of logs, and that means that it shows as if you don't have any building materials. So those 2 workers here are incapable then to potentially build anything on your behalf. And trust me, you really want that to be the case. Now, we have overall 11 beavers, and each one of these houses, I believe, is able to house like 3 beavers. And there are these fascinating layouts which you can do with your houses. Like, for example, you can put them like this, and you can then try to build them up so that you can be stocking up or stacking up the houses on top of each other. And in order to actually do that, we'll need to unlock the wooden stairs so that we can reach the higher floors and so on. and such. So there is a lot of planning to go around, but I'm gonna try to see what can be done. Unfortunately, there's not that much space over here to try and do this. I haven't found a better way of deleting planned buildings. So if you are trying to, let's say, delete the road, I seriously have to right now just go one at a time and keep deleting the buildings one by one, which is really freaking annoying. So if anyone has some sort of faster way for me to potentially get something done, please, for the love of God, let me know. Mark resources for demolition. Maybe this will do it. Delete buildings. Haha, okay. So, okay, awesome. So we'll try to accommodate the housing, and we need to keep in mind things like social life, because if we give them stuff like campfire, the beavers are more social and therefore they're more eager to make more beavers. But you also have to keep in mind that if you make too many baby beavers, you might have issues with housing, and they will only make so many beavers because the parents here are so responsible that they will not make another kid because they know that they don't have the housing for them. So they will not make their babies homeless, or they will not kick out one of the parents so that the baby can sleep inside of someone's house. So at least that's nice, I guess. But okay, we're gonna try to put down some housing blueprint for future proofing. I'm not really sure if it's gonna fit in here, but I will try my damn best. We can try to put down like a water storage back here, because we're not really gonna, or theoretically I can actually delete this and move this one tile even further. So if we were to go put these guys like this, put this over here. This should be the blueprint for the housing. And we should be able to then build this thing up in here for the leisure. We will have to connect this whole thing via roads in order for our builders to be able to get here. Then we can theoretically consider building like water storage over here, because we will require water, trust me. And you can set up priorities on what you want these things to be built at, and also the workplace, how much you want to, let's say, prioritize these things to be constructed. I have unfortunately found out the hard way that if you try to build in too much stuff, what you might run into is the problem that, well, eventually your beavers might be so overwhelmed with all the plans which you have for construction of things that they will just simply struggle to keep up with the overall demands. So we will try to improve here. And this is the probably only game where I can tell you that running it on the basic speed is going to give you like an ulcer or something. It's ridiculously slow. I do not recommend it. I do recommend for you to actually go full-on blast power and see what can be done. And once the log pile storage has been constructed, these guys are not able to work because I have forgotten to select the area for where the trees can be cut down. So this is why we're gonna actually select these regions. And once that's done, you will see the beavers. They actually don't need any tools. They will just use their fangs in order to chop down those trees, as beavers do in nature. They do have good chompers there. So we have been able to build some lumberjacks, lumberjack flags, collect lumberjacks, mark trees for cutting, and now we need to construct the water pump, and those are over here. Now what I'm doing here is actually building a tile for a dam so that we get the fourth tile so that we can have 2 water pumps constructed. And unfortunately you can see that it's nighttime, beavers aren't really working. So they will be sleeping outside, which will negatively affect them as the quality of the sleep might not be the greatest, and so we will have to monitor this. We have right now a stockpile of berries, so that's good. That will keep us fed for a while. The initial stockpile of wood is going to be just burned through immediately on constructing all these things. We need those initial houses in order to gain access to the next potential population. So we will have the room for the babies to grow up and the adults to potentially make more babies once the babies move out and reach full maturity. Okay, so here we see that everyone is starting to be thirsty, and I think they're gonna all die because we don't have a freaking water pump. So I might have effectively killed just about anyone, and I will have to restart this whole damn shebang. Because if you don't prioritize your buildings properly, you will kill everyone. And this is proof that these are not your professional walkthroughs, because next morning, I think my entire population of beavers is gonna die. So I'm just waiting for the beavers to start dying. Because if they won't be able to get this thing done, and if one beaver will not be able to start working on this in order to actually start pumping out the water, everyone's gonna die. So please, for the love of God, start giving water to all the beavers. Please, guys, come on. You gotta have some water. I really don't want to Damn it! Damn it! I already have one dead beaver, and the problem is it's an adult. So we have officially gone from 11 to 10 population. Yeah, water. A real pain in the ass. It's really easy to kill the beavers in this game. And I really think that the game does not a good job at teaching you certain stuff. So we're gonna see if I will be screwing up even more. I will be able to fix the fuck-ups. But yeah, I don't have that much experience with this game. But maybe that will be the fun factor of the whole thing. We still don't have all these things constructed, such as the third house. We have now 8 adults and 2 kids. It's still 10. That one adult is certainly going to be missed. And it seems like they are able to reach from this location, even the trees here. And as I said, theoretically, we can then ignore the population of the pines here. Because you can see, it takes 12 days for the pines to reach full maturity, after which they are able to produce more wood. And unfortunately, certain species of the trees are not the best when it comes to providing us with the building materials. So we'll have to do something about it. I will also try to construct the dam, and you need to build the pathway on top of the dam so that your beavers are actually able to get to the next square of the water dam so that they can construct it. So it will go dam, a pathway, a dam, a pathway, a dam, a pathway. Even if it shows that the construction is out of the district's region or something, I have been able to see that this building was able to reach all the way somewhere here and even across the shore just because we built the water dam. So I'm not really sure what exactly is controlling the rain or range, sorry, in this case for the district's effect. But we will certainly try to find out, and hopefully I will not kill more beavers in the next couple of minutes. Although I cannot really promise anything. So what I can theoretically do right now, since we have 94 logs, and we don't have that much food left because these berries are soon gonna be picked dry, I can theoretically stop the chopping down of these trees. And we will see if they will naturally produce the next generation. And instead, we will move processing or harvesting of trees to this area, just because we have this slope constructed in here. So I'm gonna demark these regions for wood processing. We can theoretically still tap into this one with some of these lumber camps. But certainly I want to leave this thing alone for now, and we are going to try to expand up here. It's really awesome that you don't have to build the road with the beavers, because it would make the whole damn process that much more painful. We're gonna put down 3 beaver flags up here, and they're gonna have to carry the logs down. So it would be awesome if we can build like another storage potentially somewhere around these parts. So let's make it down here, and we can even accommodate for more berry pickers. These two unfortunately will not have the range to tap into these berries, and we will have to start establishing our farming production pretty damn soon. But I don't want to really overburden the beavers as is. I want to finish off the blueprints which I have set up for them. So they will no longer be chopping down trees in here. I will let them reach the full maturity, and we will see if new trees will start popping in instead of these stumps. Because you get like a message, it has died and so on and such, and that can be quite negative. Getting this thing and getting these suckers would be awesome. We have now 9 adults and 1 baby, so still at the same quantity of beavers. Let's build the 2 houses like so. And we can build the road over here. And here we can then have room for potentially when we make a grill. So this will be responsible for cooking up let's say potatoes or something. So I'm gonna leave that area open, and I can theoretically put down a water tank up in here. That's gonna nicely fill in all this space. Just need those beavers to work a little faster. So let's put down 3 guys to be responsible for the working. That way we have 3 guys chopping down trees, 3 guys building. One of them is pumping out water, which we currently don't have any stockpile, and that can be quite problematic, as if the drought is gonna come in soon, our beavers would die rather quickly. So I'm really hoping we're gonna be able to build up some of those pesky water tanks, so that we can start actually enjoying some nice water. Now, once the water is actually in the water tanks, you are okay, but you will need to monitor how much water you have prepared for the upcoming droughts. So that can also negatively affect you. I'm gonna put down the water dam to be a high priority. Because one of the worst things which can happen to you is that you will, for example, start working on the farm, and your crops will suddenly die out because there is a drought and the water from this river has stopped flowing. So that's why I want to use like this section strictly for the purposes of water or farming, sorry. Let's build you up in here. So let's see it happen. We do have 80 something logs, and these trees are starting to reach full maturity. So I'm gonna be interested to see if we're gonna have more small trees pop in. And you need to manage throughout your day if the beavers are sitting still and not doing anything. So if they don't have any trees here to chop down, you can pause the workers, and that will allow them to then be transferred onto some other project, like carrying water or delivering resources or just about anything else. So there's that. And I would love to plan to build the water wheel somehow so that it will remain in front of the dam. There is a great spot for the water wheel, and it's over here. But the problem is, if you build the dam and the water wheel is behind it, it slows down the overall flow of how fast is the water moving. And that means that, let's say, instead of 150 points of energy, it's only able to produce 100 points of energy, which means that you are only able to power 2 buildings instead of 3 buildings, because each building might require, let's say, 50 points of energy. So we will have to build a farmhouse soon, because it takes a couple of days for the crops to reach full maturity. So I'm just trying to plan this out. This pine is gonna have to go away, and we will require a farmhouse, which will employ 2 beavers. And then we have a multitude of crops. So we have carrots, sunflowers, potatoes, wheat, cattail, and spadrock. And for these, we will have to research aquatic farming so that we actually have a building where the beavers are able to go into the water and tend to the crops, which will grow inside of the river itself. So that's kind of funky. Okay, why is the sunflower seed still showing me this? Okay, that was kind of weird. So we're gonna separate the crop into 2 sections. We're gonna go with carrots first, and then we're gonna go with potatoes, because the potatoes can be actually cooked up, and the baked potatoes will be able to satiate the beavers even more. Unfortunately, we're starting to run a little low here on the whole wood situation. We do have some water finally stockpiled. Berries are running low. I have to put down these 2 for higher priority. This is all marked for chopping down trees. And it's really starting to look like really slowly some more trees are being added in. It's definitely far better if you have the forester researched. So I want to prioritize building this so that the 2 beavers can actually start planting the crops. The water dam is being slowly built up, but we are running a little scarce on resources. So I want to put down the priority on the workforce here, and I want to put down at least 2 berry pickers and 1 more woodcutter. This can be deleted, and we can relocate it to go like this. And the next building which we're gonna build is the small warehouse. It's gonna allow us to store more stuff. So once we have the carrots or some materials for building, such as wooden planks, whatever. So yeah. Berries take a couple of days in between harvests. We have like, what, 6 more days before the next set of blueberries is gonna be done. So we really have to take a look at what's being done up here. And once we tap into all these pines and they get depleted, we'll then try to resume the wood production in this region. Just really hoping that there will be enough time so that these small pines will grow and these large ones will start to produce pine cones, and those pine cones will start growing into the next generation of pines. I think the best tree which you can grow for wood production is like maple or something like this, but it takes a crap ton of time for it to reach full maturity, and so it's really beneficial for you to try and grow it by the water so that it won't dry out and die, and that can be quite problematic sometimes, so just keep that in mind. We're gonna resume the work over here and really need to get this stuff done because we do now have 10 adult beavers and 2 baby beavers, so we are officially over that 1 dead beaver, which was really unfortunate, but now we literally have like no food, so we have to prioritize the living crap out of these berry pickers. So we're gonna prioritize these 3. We're gonna pause these 2 because let's face it, there's no berries to be harvested here. And hopefully tomorrow they will not all die from starvation and they will be able to construct these 3 berry pickers, and at least what we are doing will allow us to gain some food. Because I really would hate to see these guys starving. The beaver will die. That's really bad. You don't want to see that like ever. So I'm really hoping they will be able to bring in those berries and feed those beavers. Come on, beaver, eat something, please, for the love of God. Don't die on me. Okay, he ate. So this has seriously saved my ass. I'm gonna lower the work here. But we really need to gain some food rather quickly. Unfortunately, this seems to be quite the problem, and I keep running into either bottleneck with wood, bottleneck with water, or bottleneck with food. And having the food bottlenecked is the biggest problem of them all. So having 2 beavers here to grow your crops is going to be crucial. And what I like to do is actually build 2 farmhouses and have this whole region to be dedicated to the food production. Because these carrots are going to be eventually done, but we will need to have more food prepared. I would love to learn how to get rid of some of this stuff. Theoretically, we can actually get rid of these bushes. And that's gonna allow us to then expand the farming. So, if we get rid of some of these bushes... Ah, damn it. I have to cancel the demolition of these things because they're gonna give me... food in these next few days, so only after they are harvested I can afford to go out and get rid of them. So the water dam is gonna be soon finished. We really need to get it, however, finished. Otherwise, once the drought comes in and we're already getting the warning for it, this whole section would get dried out, and there's nothing worse than not having access to water during a drought. As, like I said, this whole growing process would just be ground to a halt, and that's the worst thing that can happen. So come on, you bastards, give me the stuff that I need so desperately. So these 2 can be chopped down. These 3 are gonna give us the berries. Now it's just these 2. I will connect this over here. And theoretically, we can remove these berries here. And if I would be successful enough, I can try to build like a water wheel in here and see if that will be able to power the plank production. Because as you can see, the trees here are actually growing, but there's not that much of a population of the smaller ones. So the water dam has been officially finalized. That's awesome. Carrots are being done. So we're starting to harvest those. The storage would be great if that can be finalized as well. Really appreciate that. And I'm really hoping that this damn tree is marked to be chopped down. So please chop down all of this so that this can all be turned into a region with food production. So the drought usually arrives during daytime. I haven't seen it arrive as of yet at nighttime, but maybe that's just because I haven't been through enough of the game as is. So anything is honestly possible at this point. We have 0 wood, which is troubling. We have 10 adults, 3 babies. Not good, not good. We really need to buff our population. Problem is that's a little easier said than done. So I'm trying to determine what might work here. I'm gonna try to build 2 more houses here so that maybe the grown-ups are able to spread out a little more. This is gonna be soon done. There's literally 0 logs over here. And you can see that the drought has arrived, and we have in this place water. So the water pumps are capable of pumping out the water. I'm not really sure how many cubic feet of water or like how much water do we have here, or if these water pumps would be capable of getting out the entire water reserve. But because we were able to hold the water here, we're now able to continue with the crop harvesting. These potatoes will be able to reach their maturity, and so we will have the food for our lovely, lovely beavers. Why the hell we, however, don't have beavers working here? Just don't have the population. Simple as that. We're gonna remove the number of workers in here. Maybe that'll help. We will see. We will see. We'll also have to start running some research, but yeah, not really working out the best way as of yet. So we will have the drought that will eventually finish. So I think maybe next day. I'm still not sure how this whole time dilation thingy or just the day and night cycle works. Problem is, maybe I don't know it just because I keep running the game at super fast. Like seriously, I tried to run this on like the slowest mode, and normally when it comes to games like Banished, Settlement Survival, and all sorts of other games, it's absolutely crucial for you to manage the time speed, as if you screw up, there's usually such a big screw up that you aren't capable of going back from it. So there's that. I really need to do something with this situation in regards to our logs. Do have the water. Do need the water. The water over here is still preserved, which is just awesome. And I do wonder if you would be able to build something up here. Like, eventually you're supposed to have, like, access to something like construction of dynamite. And then the dynamite is able to be used to blow up like 1 square depth, and that will allow you. Oh, the water is back, so it will start flowing through the dam in a matter of moments. So everything will return back to being green and whatnot. Still don't see that many new pines being added, but we'll see what will happen. It looks like after the pines reach certain maturity, they are also able to provide us with pine resin, but I haven't been honestly that far in order to tap into maple syrup and resin. So resin can be used as glue, it can be used as fuel for burning, because if you ever tried to, let's say, poke a stick into resin and then light it on fire, it burns like crazy. And actually, I read somewhere that it's estimated that the ancient humans used to use on torches resin to keep them burning even during like when it was foggy or high moisture in the air, or it was possibly even raining. So I don't know, anything's possible. I really want to see this goddamn tree being chopped down. It's aggravating me so much. Come on, get it the hell out of here. Get it the hell out of here. We're gonna have to increase the priority on the lumber chompers here. We're gonna pause the priority for these guys here because majority of this wood has been gone. And honestly, like after this wood is removed, I don't tend to replant the trees in here. I like keep this region over here to be for production. Okay, so what we want is to fill in those gaps. I really do wonder if I will actually be removing these bushes after the production, because it actually does require for your water wheel to be where the current is strong, so that the planks would be spinning and it would be producing energy. And like I said, the river flows slowlier over here than before the dam. So yeah, it's gonna be important for us. I'm gonna put these two on pause. Increase the priority on these boys so that they can tap into the whole food situation. This means that 4 beavers are now harvesting the carrots, and the carrots are far better at satiating the hunger. You see, capacity 200 out of 200 because our berries are mostly occupying the entire storage. So theoretically, I can go and build us another one. We do have the wood for it, and the water wheel, actually quite costly. It costs 50 logs, so that's a lot. That is a lot of chopping. So, food. Thinking potatoes, and maybe these carrots might be erased. Just really don't know if the water wheel will work here, but I want to try. These guys need to disappear, and you need to... Don't know if these are potatoes. That's the fun thing. Yeah, these are all potatoes. So carrots can go over here. This one needs to be chopped down. It's gonna take quite a long time to get it there, so let's get rid of it. And it would be great if you guys would actually start to replant the potatoes and everything. Because you have harvested all the crops, but now we have absolutely nothing! We have now 15 adults and 6 babies. Good news, good news. things are looking up. Water pumps are a-okay. Do have only 69 water in storage, not the best. But because we have all this water by their housing, they're able to get their thirst over with in the morning, and then they're able to work for quite a long time. So that's awesome. Here we have some wood in the storage. We're gonna pause these guys. We're gonna let these trees reach their firm maturity, do their thing. And yeah, once you have researched the forester, the funniest thing is that he can actually be planting blueberries as well. So it's in the plant bushes and trees. You have chestnuts, you have maples, they produce the most. Then you have pines, then you have birch, and then there are the blueberries. So they take 12 days to reach maturity, and they take additional 12 days to just produce the berries. So that's why having access to these initial berry bushes in here is so crucial. It'd be great if someone would actually come down here and chop these suckers, but unfortunately, I think they are all out of range. So what we're gonna have to do is go ahead and put down 2 of these so that they chop down all this nonsense. I'm gonna probably destroy these 70. Okay, hold on. This one is 58%. This one is 23%. 75, 70. Okay, these can be chopped down. So at the start, I like to grow potatoes and carrots. They seem to do the trick. But eventually you should start to focus on stuff like wheat, because wheat will require to be ground or milled into flour so that you can, you know, get your carbohydrate fix. Can theoretically try to build. No, we cannot. We don't have that many science points because we have only 1 building for science. So we're gonna have to fix that. Damn it. I really wish that you can rotate the doors on these things, or you can have, like, with the housing, one is facing with the doors to the left, one is facing with the doors to the right. Unfortunately, some of these structures just aren't willing to cooperate on that scale. We do have potatoes, so it would be awesome if I would build that damn grill, which I talked about. And we need to build some stuff for the sciencey people. Especially during the drought season, you should try to focus on making science points, I guess. Because, you know, if you're not doing certain stuff with agriculture or whatever, it might be the best time if you have enough food in stock and all this other nonsense. Okay, how are we looking here? 5%, 14%, 1, 5. So we will be demolishing some of these. 14. 1%, so that has been gathered fairly recently. This one is doing nothing. This one is not even fully mature. This one is not fully mature. They are gone. This one is gonna give us crops soon. Really want to get rid of these bushes here. 22, 16. Majority of these blueberries is gonna go bye-bye. 70 something. Can theoretically keep this as a district for the blueberries. There's enough of them. We'll see what will happen over here. Destroying this barrier will bring the greenery all the way to these houses here. Now we need to select a blueprint, so grilled potatoes will work. We have 20. So they will be brought over here along with some firewood. They will be able to cook up some of those delicious baked potatoes. We have 17 adults, 6 babies. 51 science points. We need 70 just to build the staircase. And I want to build staircase because one of the social things which we have is a rooftop bar or something like this. And so you can build it on top of your houses, but you need the staircase in order to reach it. Plus you need planks. So that's why I also want to build the damn water wheel. So I'm thinking maybe these 4 carrots are gonna go bye-bye. But they are at 80%. So what we will do is clear the planting area. This means that the carrots are still gonna reach full maturity, but it's gonna work out a little differently. After they're done, we're gonna be able to build the water wheel here. I hope that there's enough speed here where the water is accumulating that we will be able to gain or generate power. Honestly, the best spot for the water wheel is over here because the water speed here is just absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not sure how I feel about killing one of the most valuable regions for production of food for the purposes of making this. Okay. This one is 97, 36, 49, 85. So 2 of these are gonna go bye-bye. 2 of these are gonna reach maturity. And then I'm gonna determine if here or here the water wheel is gonna be built. We have 69 logs. I'm really thinking this is gonna get marked again for our wood reserve. They had some time to grow, but I just don't feel like they have done such a great job at repopulating this place. I mean, don't get me wrong, they definitely did refill this location quite nicely. Let's recover here. Get these 2 suckers out. These carrots, once they are done, we can try the water wheel gizmo. And if not, well, then this region will have to be used for production of whatever. I will be theoretically able to maybe even build 2 water wheels in this location, which would give me a crap ton of power. So if I would be able to build one here and one here, that would be just awesome. This one needs to reach the maturity rather quickly. These 4 guys are really working their tails off to get these harvested crops picked up. You have the storage for them. Berries are over here. We have 124 carrots. We have only 6 potatoes. And I feel like those potatoes have been potentially cooked. So the grill is not really functioning right now. So theoretically we can put it on pause, but soon we're gonna have the next harvest of taters, so let's not do that. You need to reach maturity, man. Come on, like now. Beautiful. Love when things work out. We're gonna resume the woodcutting stuff here. What do we need in order to gain this guy? We need 60 points of science, and we need also planks. So I really need to start producing planks. Okay, so time for some power. We're gonna go with the water wheel. is gonna burn through a crap ton of resources as is. And I really like to keep the aquatic farming here, so I'm not really sure how I'm gonna arrange that. Maybe I'll just continue the road to the other shore and build the aquatic farming somewhere on the shoreline here. And we're gonna see how it's gonna work out. So what do we need to do now? From the water wheel, you need to build these power shafts. They are what you connect to your buildings, and that allows you to then do whatever it needs to be done. So we can theoretically build it like this, because if I would build that other wheel up in here, and I would connect this like so, then we have a crap ton of power that can be potentially generated in here. Thing is, we need to be able to squeeze this sucker in somehow. So unfortunately, they do occupy a decent amount of space. But how the hell do I want to do this? Because I would like to also potentially build up maybe other production of stuff in here. Theoretically speaking, if we would chop down this sucker, if we would stop the planting of potatoes in this location, I can then accommodate a third water wheel. No, it would be blocked by this sucker. Okay. I'm gonna try something. No. It would need to be built all the way up in here, huh? So we are really like going after our crops. Okay, so now that we have this, I need to figure out how to accommodate those goddamn lumber mills. How many can be constructed in here? If we build some water dam here, which I'm not sure how it will affect the flow of water, as I don't know if those two tiles here would be able to weaken up the water wheel production. So having these two up here, and then building the power redistribution. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. See what's gonna happen in here. We have 183 logs. Theoretically, we can build more crops or plant more crops up in here. It's like a row of taters. And theoretically speaking, this that can then be refilled, since we are not going to be using this shore for the water wheel. We're going to be using this high concentration point of water. Not really sure how to address this, but yeah, I'm obviously struggling, but let's hope someone will understand. Okay, so what do we want to do? These guys are gonna get chopped down. We have like 221 logs, which is kind of funky. We have 23 adults. So we need to build some more housing. Question is, where am I planning on doing it? Okay. Let's do it here for now. We're gonna see how it's gonna work out. Now, you have to be careful how much you try to explode your population of beavers, because you can suddenly find yourself being in a quite of a pickle, because the water which you were stockpiling for your current population limit will not be enough. And yeah, you can run into all sorts of brand new bottlenecks. No, not on the rooftop, damn it. Here. Okay, so I think we're gonna unlock this. Once these two are done, hopefully we're gonna be able to do something in regards to this. So we need to wait now for today. So far, no drought. Damn it, in 3 days, we're gonna have a drought. So we better start stockpiling some of that pesky water. And we know that we're gonna be okay in producing water. Yeah, we have 105 horsepower, I'm assuming. And I do wonder how much we will be producing over in this one. Theoretically, yeah, I'm gonna leave this opened, because I don't know if that power shaft will not be used from the third power wheel. We will see. We will see how things turn out. But it would be great if you idiots would actually construct those additional houses. I seriously hate the fact that I have to keep prioritizing every goddamn thing, every goddamn time for them in order to actually do the damn thing. Because if I would leave some of these tasks at like the low intensity requirement, it's no bueno. It just doesn't really work out that well. We do have a crap ton of wood stockpiled, so that's awesome. But I'm gonna actually pause the 4 positions in here in hopes that they will actually transfer those 4 dudes to work on whatever else that might be necessary. And if I can build some storage in here for those damn planks, that might be not the worst thing ever as well. And our storages are becoming full. The funniest thing is, I think you can actually connect the storage units to a power, but I'm not really sure what does it do. Like, what's the point? It's a goddamn storage. It's not like Amazon fulfillment center or something where they torment you. And I know, I've been to few. Okay, so the drought is gonna hit us soon. This is gonna be interesting. Certainly interesting. We have paused the woodcutting production. These guys are just refusing to fulfill these constructions, and they are just pissing me off with this so damn much. Just finish it, because during the drought, these water wheels will not be spinning. So if we don't get some planks in here by the time this drought kicks in, we won't be getting any planks, because once the water stands still, the water wheel is just not going to spin. That's just simple science. This one is getting crammed full of stuff soon. These 4 are absolutely not making any dent in, like, being constructed. What are you guys doing in here? Like, build these damn shacks. So the drought has started. We'll soon see the water is disappearing because we have that pesky water dam. You see, this thing is not moving. So this one will not be moving at all too. And now that I have these two, well, I can go do something nice. Because these two are now not going to be producing anything. Awesome. Loving it. Okay, so we need that forester. Unfortunately, forester requires planks, and so do the rooftop bars, because this one place for socializing for 22 beavers is not good enough. We need to provide them with more leisure activities. Unfortunately, I cannot really cram in that many of those guys up in here. And I also would hate to live in this house and have a social gathering spot right outside of my damn window. Mud bath. That sounds awesome. But it costs 1,800 points. Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Trust me on that. So water is gonna be produced. Potatoes and carrots are gonna be grown, leaving this spot open for the potential production of another lumber mill or other processing plant, like for example when we want to have the scavenging flag, which we can then tap into the ruins which contain scrap metal. Then we might be able to get additional type of a resource in. 250 is however how much do we require in regards to science points. So yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Water levels are holding steady. Our wood is, however, not that well, but we do have crap ton of food, so at least I know that these beavers will not go starving. God, I hope so. 22 grown-ups, 5 babies. Not really sure what age can these beavers live up to, like if they can go up to 60 or something. Maybe after such a time they just vanish. We have finished almost everything except of the forester. It's really not telling you that much. This tutorial really fails on a lot of things. And look, you can bitch and moan about me complaining about games lacking a proper tutorial, but I have been playing games for a long time. And games like even Half-Life have a tutorial in order to teach you how the physics in the game work. So that if you run into some sort of room where you're suddenly not required to shoot everything that moves, you have to use logic in order to solve puzzles. So in order to understand that there are these physics in the game, they actually did give you the tools to understand it and give you a basic tutorial. So that's why I can be sometimes annoying with this, but it's meant well. Because I care, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Leisure. If we would build these, they cost us 15. So that's 30 logs. It's almost the entire reserve of wood that we have access to. We're gonna resume the wood cutting in this region. Some of these blueberries are being negatively affected because they're also on the elevated ground. I'm not really sure if I would demolish this if the water levels or the amount of water here would go down even lower because you're trying to occupy a brand new space. But we can try to demolish it and see what's going to happen with the water, if it's going to completely ruin me because I decided to expand in this small territory. So you now see that this now valley is covered in water, and the water levels here have somehow not equaled out, or I'm not really sure, but yeah. At least we have now the certainty that these blueberries are gonna be producing stuff. This bush is going away. 69, 55, 28, 85, 20, 38. These guys are gone. 55, 69, 86. Cannot believe I'm actually cutting down blueberry bushes. Drought has officially ended, which means we're gonna get the new water to kick in. It seems to me like this water source is the most crucial ever piece of square which you can come across in this game. Unfortunately, I don't think we can build them. So it would be fun if we can somehow tap into this region all the way up in here and maybe build like a dam which would be able to hold the water here. So I don't really know what would happen if the drought kicks in and you have a crap ton of water build up over here, and then all of a sudden this whole entire area would not be able to get any additional water to. That's something which I will have to look at. Okay, we can finally start processing those damn planks, because we are producing a crap ton of horsepower. These guys are going nuts. So building that third sucker would be probably a good idea. No, that was bad. I would prefer if they would like automatically turn towards the building which you want to connect it to, but I can understand why they did not go with that choice, as it gives you more room to play around with the potential layouts and so on and such. Seems like some of these are already full. We're gonna have to build some water storage units. So these three suckers are gonna be pumping out planks like crazy, as long as we have some goddamn wood to supply them with. But now that we actually have access to the planks, what we can do is start making our farm for trees, I guess. We're gonna demolish this goddamn little bugger here. And we are gonna be able to build that goddamn forester right around here. And what I'm gonna do is like make this region for maple. So you see it takes 30 freaking days for them to reach maturity, but after that you get 8 logs out of each and every single maple. Pines can be growing over here. So I want to keep the maples by the water so that this region does not dry out. 94, 85, 29. And you will still require your lumberjack flags by the forester. I can theoretically demolish these suckers now here. And I'm gonna try to demolish also probably this stockpile. But first it's better to empty out the storage, of course. Makes sense. So they will start chopping down whatever trees are already here. These boys will be producing the planks. We have 26 of them. And we can start to build those rooftop places, or try to actually build the housing with the next floor involved, but we will require also a platform for that, because we will need to build over like the doors so that they can still get inside, and then they can get to the next floors. What we need to do, build the wooden stairs, and we need to delete the pathway, because for some dumbass reason you cannot have the stairs on the pathway. Don't ask me. Rotate it like this, rotate it like this, And then we can try to build those next houses on top. So it will go like this. Like this. And then what needs to be done is you need to build like another set of stairs. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly though. So that they can actually get to this thing. I don't know if it needs to be 3 tiles wide now. I think it might have to be 3 tiles wide. So I might have to demolish this wing, build 1 more tile in the middle, which will then allow them to get to these corner houses. So a little hiccup, but I haven't really done this as of yet, so it's not that much of a trouble. Okay, now we just need to connect it back to the road so they're able to get out in the morning. Once that is done, we need to start demolishing stuff. Okay, so we need 3 tiles of road. We need those houses constructed. Theoretically, if we would have 150 points to build a double lodge, this is able to hold 6 beavers instead of the current numbers. But that's okay. We're gonna increase the priority on these guys so that they're not homeless, because that, let's face it, would kind of suck for them right now. Okay, so staircase. And I need to rotate these. So they need to be facing the other way around, so that here we are able to build this to then connect to the platform. Which should really, hopefully, this time work. Oh, fudge! Okay, these need to be re-rotated. This is gonna be fun! Thank God I named this channel Not Your Professional Walkthroughs. Whew, that would have been awkward. Okay, so because we have this middle platform, they will be able to get there. But don't forget, we still need to build a goddamn pathway on top of these, because otherwise they're just incapable of walking on top of them. So don't ask. I did not design this. So like this. But we will be able to you need to go away and build the staircase. Yes. And here. This will go out. This will go like this. And then we're able to make the platforms happen again. And theoretically, the 3rd floor somehow can accommodate those social or leisure rooftop terraces if it's possible. But it's actually, when I looked up some guy who tried to do this type of a build, he actually did recommend the Iron Tooth Nation, or the dark-skinned beavers, because their houses are these barracks which are like 3 times 2, so it actually works out far better for you to have those constructed. We will be able to accommodate this one up here. But unfortunately, this one is just no bueno. No matter how I... Theoretically, if I do it like so, I might get the 2 leisure rooftop terraces. And theoretically, we can build some, I don't know, decorations up here, like a bench. For which I don't have the sciencey points, so gotta do the science. Okay, so we need to build the roads up in here as well. So this will give our beavers a crap ton of stuff to do, and I just don't think we have the necessary resources for it, which is not good. So what we might do to compensate for it is get out here and tap into the chestnuts. And I really need to learn how the hell to harvest these chestnuts, because these chestnuts can be then roasted and used for food. So I just don't want to plainly chop down these suckers, because that's a shame. They do, however, give you a decent chunk of wood. But seriously, we need to build these 4 guys up here. This gives us access to all of this over in here. So that's all okay. So we will have the birch. It's gonna be able to supply us with some necessary wood. So let's increase the priority on these boys. The food is still okay. We have some baked potatoes. We have a crap ton of blueberries. We're gonna pause these 2 boys. And hopefully we'll be able to do what needs to be done up here. This is like a small little housing district, which we can be proud of, which is starting to resemble the complexity of this game. But I seriously need to do something with my science because it's not funny. Yeah, Mr. White, science. Problem is, where would I cram in some sciencey buildings, huh? Just won't work. There's not enough space. Damn it! Okay, what we want to do is plant more maples. This one is gonna be soon done. So this is all okay. We have like 4 pieces of wood left, which can be quite problematic because that will also affect our planks production. So, like I said, bottlenecks. And I really am struggling to somehow right now set it up so that I can ensure that I will constantly have something ready for me. This one needs to be ramping up the production of these trees like there's no tomorrow. I would really love to build or plant those maples over here. So, fortunately, 19% is quite low. So getting rid of this tree will allow us to then accommodate the 2 maples up in here. This one is also not really making that much progress. This one can be chopped down for 2 pieces of wood. At least the houses are now constructed. It's right now not looking that great. This is gonna be destroyed. Really wish I would get some resources back from these buildings, but oh well. So what do you need to do? Select the birch for chopping. Cancel this whole region for chopping because there's no longer any trees. We can cancel this whole region for chopping too. And so these boys will hopefully be able to start producing some wood quite fast. I would really appreciate it. Like, chop chop. So, 4 logs, not really that great. Plus some of it is going to be transferred over here, so we have some planks. because those planks are going to be used in order to build those stairs and so on and such. And yeah, I think that'll be it for the start now. So there's some changes to how I did stuff. Obviously, by killing a beaver on day something was not the best start. But you gotta make mistakes in this game in order to learn from it. So yeah, don't kill your beavers, I guess, is the thing which I'm trying to say. But other than that, if you did like it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more, or if you want to help me improve, and definitely let me know through the comment section. I will definitely appreciate the tips. And hopefully we'll be able to build up some decent beaver colony, and I will be able to try out the other scenarios, and hell, maybe even try the Iron Fangs, or what's the other race of the beavers called. So yeah, might be fun. And thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now. Seriously, how was I able to kill a beaver on day 3 or something? Really gotta stop doing this dumb stuff. Really wish we can expand the workers in these foresters. Would help out.